Right.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The last few years have been pretty tough for funny man Mike King. The descendant of Te Mahurehure has been through his fair share of life experiences, having endured a serious motorbike accident in Christmas 2007, suffered a massive stroke in 2007 which led to temporary paralysis and loss of speech, and then the year later undergoing a major heart operation to correct an irregular heartbeat. But the Christmas Eve disaster of 2008 had to cap it all. After 7 years successfully retaining a high-profile celebrity role, he was suddenly dismissed from his position. But it was not the sudden sacking that shocked King. It was the sickening sight of pigs screaming, froth pouring out of their mouths that utterly appalled him. Up until this point, Mike King was known as Mr Pork, commissioned by the New Zealand pork industry to encourage New Zealanders to eat more pork. And he had been pretty successful. Under his watch, pork sales soared. And that's when SAFE entered the fray, sending him information about factory farming pigs of pigs in New Zealand. So he started asking questions, trying to investigate for himself how pigs were reared for pork, bacon and ham. He searched the net, he viewed footage taken by Open Rescue, and eventually he arranged a secret farm visit to see for himself. His recollection of that experience makes for disturbed reading. The North Island intensive piggery that he visited included a shed crammed full of 50 to 60 large pregnant sows. He spoke of the noise as deafening, the smell overpowering, and in his own words, I just walked around looking at these beautiful animals, huge animals wedged in these cages. You look into their eyes and they were either despairing, terrified, lost. It was absolutely harrowing. This story is all the evidence we need to support this bill. But there are, of course, many more such stories that could be told which describe the physical and mental cruelty meted out to animals in the name of profits. The Māori Party supports this bill to prevent a small but savage group of farmers who keep their animals in inhumane conditions from being able to carry on such a practice. The bill will create an immediate disincentive to the use of sow crates by some pig farmers and the use of battery hen cages on certain chicken farms. And we really want to commend Sue Kedgley for this very significant bill, which we hope will pass through this House tonight unopposed and be a fitting legacy for her work across Parliament. The key purpose of the bill is to clarify that certain practices that, although permitted by a Code of Animal Welfare, breach key sections of the Animal Welfare Act 1999 and must be phased out within 5 years. We are interested why these offenders are given a 5-year reprieve to carry on with such harrowing practices for so long before this bill kicks into place. The Māori Party is committed to keeping our natural resources and environment healthy, safe and intact for everyone and for future generations, and that certainly includes animal welfare. And I have to say how impressed I am with the endorsement that comes from some of our finest Māori celebrities, Mike King, Tammy Davis, one of the stars of Outrageous Fortune, and the filmmaker, writer, actor Taika Waititi. And I want to leave with the views of Mr Waititi, which the Māori Party certainly endorse. It's not necessarily a question of what you eat, but rather where that food comes from. We like to show off our clean green image to the international community, but we still engage in many disgraceful practices that make me embarrassed to be a Kiwi. One of the most disturbing assumptions surrounding the cruelty towards animals is the view that they know no better. We utterly reject this notion. For example, we know that there are many time-tried techniques which can protect the welfare of laying hens. There is ample evidence around the behavioural requirements of hens which demonstrates the importance of innate behaviours such as wing flapping, nest building, dust bathing, preening or even walking, all actions ruled out of a battery hen environment. We oppose the use of cruel cages used to restrict the movements of the so-called battery hens. We oppose the inhumane treatment of pigs in New Zealand, and we totally support this bill.
I call Dr.